All right. Can you hear me this time? Yay! Oh, yay, but not so yay. I'm not sure what I did. Well, let me think back. I already had done a live with my new monitor. I know that because I told you guys I got the new monitor and everything worked. So I did that again with the new monitor, and I could see that the little green light wasn't on where it normally shows um, on the YouTube screen. When you go live, it has those little dots and it has a little speaker, I mean, a microphone, and none of the green dots were on. So I tried different things internally with my computer to see if I had something switched off, but it looked like everything was on. So I put everything back the way it should be, turned, took the monitor, what was, yeah, switched off the new monitor and went back just to my laptop, and now the little green light is on. So I guess I'm going to have to experiment some other time. I don't know. It worked the first time I tried it. You know, those irritating things. You try it once, it works, and you expect it to work the next time. And it doesn't. It's so irritating. My husband went through all this trouble to set me all up, and I'm back to my original trying to look over here on my small laptop to see what anybody is saying. Very irritating when you think you have something solved. Let me try and get this closer to me because I halfway see what's going on. Okay. Well, yesterday was another headache because I was going to come on and try and play with this Suminagashi stuff yesterday, and my internet would go on for 5 minutes and then it was off for like another 5 minutes. Then it would go on. It did that since today. What's today? Sunday. It did that since the afternoon of Friday. And so obviously I couldn't go on because it was going off and on. And it did that till early this morning. So when initially I saw you guys couldn't hear me, I thought, oh no, it has something to do with the crazy internet again. But no, I disconnected from the new monitor and went back to the laptop. And obviously the volume is fine. So, oh no, another headache. I had another headache earlier. My dryer. My washer went kaput a couple of weeks ago. My husband got some new ones and he made, got all the dimensions. We were all ready to go and we had them delivered. And the ones we had before were stackable. So we decided, well, we'll get stackable again because where we're going to put them, they fit the same. And my husband was real careful about the depth. So it was the same depth. Well, what he failed to measure, which I wouldn't have thought of it either, was the height. All right. Well, I'm not a very tall person. Okay. I'm short. Let's just say the truth. I'm short. And for me to see, okay, you have the washer and then the dryer stacks up on top. For me to be able to look and see the dials and to see what the heck I was programming to dry, I literally had to get on a step stool. And I said, this is not my idea of a comfortable appliance to work with. And I said, what the heck? Who is this tall? Except for, hello, I see Miss Patty. Except for Miss Patty, who the heck could read those things up there, right? So my husband and I, we just laughed. And we go, okay, well, this is going to work. So we had to call the guys. I don't know why we We even let them, well, they set it up, and for some reason, I wasn't thinking. I was so happy because I'd been without a washer and dryer for like a week. And I was just happy it was there, and they got it set up and they left. Good. They're here. They're gone. Get out of my house. I'm happy. And then that's when I noticed, wait a minute. I can't see the handles. I can't put it on and off. Anyway, so we had to get those, send them back. And it seems like most of the stackables now are taller, at least where we were going. They're all tall. So that meant I told my husband, forget all this. This is ridiculous. Let's just go, old school and go side by side. Which meant we had to take out a piece of a counter because, there was just room for the stackables. And so we had to make room for the other one. So that was a whole other project. But we got that all done. The washer and dryer, the new retro, I call them retro ones, they are now here and fine. So I thought, okay, my washer and dryer is set up. The internet is working now. Oops, mosquito. So let's go have some fun. And now this stupid thing happens. Oh my goodness. I just can't handle high tech anymore. I must be getting old. All this stuff is just frustrating now. I think that comes with getting all cranky. Okay, so now I have to come over here and squint and see who's here and what's going on. Hi, Johnny. And there's Patricia and Kathy. Oh, Kathy. She's down there in Texas with Patty. Well, they don't know each other, but they're down there together. They just don't know. Hi, Erin. Who else? Maggie and Laurel. Patricia. Did I say Patricia already? Linda. Maggie. Hi, Maggie. Oh, I know. You know what? Hi, Darla. The stuff that we just take so for granted. You have a dirty something, you throw it in, you wash it. And no offense to anybody that has to go to a laundromat, but I did that for years and years and years. And I just did not, I just did not want to do that again. Even if I knew it was just for a week. I told my husband, I said, as soon as you take a shower, you throw your towel in the dryer and you keep yours and you use it again. Because that's usually what piles up, is, towels and stuff like that and everything. And we just use it one time and, we wash them. This time I said, throw it in the dryer, put a little fluffy thing in there, let's make it smell good. And you're using that until next week. Oh, gosh. We have quite a few laundromats around here. And I had not been in one, in a while. But when I thought, I don't know when I'm going to actually get this washer and dryer, because at first they were saying, well, let's take a step back. It had broken. Then we had to get an appointment for someone to come out. And we thought, maybe it could be fixed or something. Because it would do the washing, but then when it went to the spin cycle, it wouldn't do anything. It would just go, So we thought, well, maybe there's just some little gizmo thing they could do. And so we had to wait some time for him to come. So then he came, and then we had to wait some time once we decided, when he told us, it's downhill all the way. You need to get a new one. And so all this took a long time. So by today, it's been like, I don't know, 3 or 4 weeks since this whole thing started. So, holy moly. So it's been interesting. Very interesting. Darla, we got it, but you had to be as tall as Patty to be able to use the dryer. And I don't think she was going to come over and do the dryer for me. I couldn't see the dials. It was so tall. So we had to get that, make arrangements to take it back, get another one delivered. And that was delivered. Was that today or yesterday? I'm so confused. No, today. See, this day is just too crazy. Today. Yeah. So So I haven't even used the 1 week that we got delivered today because um, day before yesterday, I decided I'm using this washer and dryer. I went through all this aggravation. I'm using it. So I washed all my clothes, all my bedding. I washed everything. And what was really cool about that one was because they are taller now. I could fit my king size comforter fit in that washer and that dryer. What a dream come true, right? And because it didn't fit in my old one. And a queen size almost fit, but a king never fit. So I was so excited. Oh wow, I could do the big thing anytime I want, and yeah, 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 yeah. Well, so when I realized it was gonna go, I go, oh, I better do it now. So I did a bunch of laundry the past couple of days, just so that the big stuff was done. My hair's falling all over the place. Anyway, so, but I didn't get to keep that one, the big one. It's gone. It went today. And now I call them retro. They're side by side ones now. The other machine I had that broke, it was a stackable too, but it was, I think it was almost 10 years old now. I didn't realize we had it that long. So I guess we got, our money's worth, I guess. Okay, so that's the end of my drama. It was a lot of drama. But anyway, you know, it's not like earth shattering and illness or anything like that. Just inconveniences, which we can all deal with, I guess. All right, so I was racking my brain with this Suminagashi stuff, trying to zone in and remember what they did, what my friends did, and then went on YouTube and kind of to refresh my memory, which was not helpful because what some of the people are doing online, as with a lot of things, they've kind of morphed it, and so it's not like the real traditional way. So that meant, I really have to try and remember, what they did, and see if we can replicate it. I know they started off with clean. I wanted a larger pan where a larger piece of paper could fit, but I didn't. I was amazed. I didn't have like a in between. I just had the big kind of sheet, the big giant cookie sheet. I don't want it that big because it takes up too much ink, and we're just practicing. So I just had this leftover thing from egg rolls. So that's what we're gonna use. Um, I was trying to remember the paper that they used, and it was paper like in those days. Even though I liked, all papery kind of things, I wasn't so in tune into what people were using at that time. Because this is how many years ago? I don't know. 15 years ago. So I can't honestly tell you what kind of paper they used. Now this paper here is Japanese. Woo, hello. This is Japanese paper here, but I think it's too thin. This is for calligraphy. Well, calligraphy is pretty wet, so maybe we can use this. I don't know. But we'll just start off just to get the feel for it with just some plain old copy paper. And if it halfway works, then I'll investigate more what's the best paper. I think it's like, I don't know. I'm not even going to say. Probably some kind of rice paper or something. I don't know. But something that's absorbent because you want the ink to get picked up right away. You don't want it, continually just being a mess. So, hi, Lisa. So I've got a bunch of copy paper right here. I just have to put it up into a couple of pieces that'll fit. Let me see. I should have done that before, but then I would have been smart. Did I say hi, Erin? I forgot who I saw. Sorry if I missed somebody. Oh, Miss Hottie's there too. Did I miss her too? I'm just going completely kind of brain dead because I don't know what I'm doing. So let me just cut something whoa, no, that's already wet. that halfway fits. And we'll make a test one, and then we'll see. This might be a total bust, but hey, it's fun. I don't care. I don't mind making a fool out of myself in front of you guys. We're friends, right? Right? And so remember now, if I lose you, it's because the internet's been goofy here. And I'll just try and come back in a few minutes if we haven't done too much yet. Okay. Well, now these are totally wet. Maybe I should do some dry ones. I'm okay. I'm okay. I'm okay. Let me cut them over here to the side so I don't get them all wet. I'll do it sneaky out of the camera. Out of the camera. Out of the camera. Well, Kathy, when you guys, like right now, it's very hot here. It's very humid still. But when you guys come up, Kathy, it's supposed to be in the high 70s. And we're going to have 40% chance of rain the weekend you're coming. Now, it's good that it's going to be cool. It's not good that it's going to be raining because we're supposed to be drying plaster. So when you guys come, bring some kind of a tool, a drying tool, because we're going to have to dry those puppies. Because they're not going to dry out in the rain too well. If you know what I mean. So what I'm doing is I'm going to make a nice little batch of them ahead of time. Because you're not going to be able to hand dry all that stuff. So I'll make a nice little batch, but you guys will make some out of each type of plaster that we're going to use. And while those are drying up, we'll do the other stuff. And then I'll already have some pre-made ones for you guys. So, but you'll still, do your thing and learn how to do it and what to use and all that kind of stuff. But we won't be dependent on your stuff to complete the journal is what I'm saying. If that makes sense, good. If it doesn't, well, it will when you get here. Okay, I'm just cutting up some papers that I failed to do ahead of time. The right size. Okay, so this is just regular copy paper. I use 24-pound weight for everything that I do. I've just gotten spoiled with that. I like the way it eco dyes, and I like the way it prints. I like it the way it does everything. Okay. Any questions? Let me see. Let me look. Give me a chance here. Yes, Lisa, I wish you guys could be here. I'm going to do an online one too, so that'll be available after the live workshops here. I don't know if it's 3 or 4. It's kind of in between right now that I have in here. 3 for sure. And then once those are done, then I'm going to put one online. Yeah, Kathy. It's going to be but it's still going to be in the 70s, So no problem. Okay. So those of you ladies that were not here the last time that we spoke about this, I will give you just a nice little overview. We were talking about how those beautiful older books that have the Turkish and Indian marbling in them, and how it is a very controlled form of art. Because you can create patterns, and the patterns even have names, and there's techniques to do them, and so it's like I say, it's very uniform and a controlled kind of art. which drives me crazy because I like to just like throw things around and, exact. I don't understand the meaning of exact or do it this way. So then I was remembering when I lived in Hawaii, we had a lot of Japanese neighbors in our immediate area, and we'd have get-togethers, and they would show me different forms of art that they did. And one of them is the traditional Japanese marbling, which is very free form. There are no patterns. There's no nothing. And it's called Suminagashi. And so anyway, we're going to try that. And what's good about it is that there's not like a gigantic investment because all they used was this Japanese sumi ink, the black sumi ink, regular water, and in the bath, just plain water, nothing else goes into it, and then water with a tiny, tiny drop of dish soap. And what the dish soap does is when you put the ink in there, you know how the advertisement is that like when you put Dawn and it shows how all the oils go boing, that's what breaks up all of the grease and stuff like that. Well, whatever the composition in ink is, it kind of stays together kind of in the same way, the same fashion. And so when you get some water with a little bit of the dish soap, and of course I used Dawn, thank you very much, it makes it spread. And that's what gets the motion going. And it just builds upon itself. And then you just print a little piece of paper, and it's called Suminagashi. Now, last week or last time we talked about this, some had asked, can you use um, colored inks or acrylic inks? My answer is still, I don't know. But there are Sumi inks that I found that come in color. Now, the only thing that I can tell you about the Sumi inks that come in color, they are all, what do you call it, advertised as being tattoo inks. So they're very, very deep, rich colors for tattooing and beautiful, beautiful colors, right? Okay, so that was out of the question for me because it's very costly. They were not cheap. Let's put it that way, for something that I didn't know if it was going to work or not with what we were trying to do. So I did some more research, and you probably guys have seen this at Dick Blick and places like that. There is a kit I found. I sent for this. It's Suminagashi, but it had colors in it. All right. Now, because, it's written in Japanese. No, there's English also. I'm kidding. I still don't know if this ink is colored Sumi ink or if they have modified, other kinds of inks. If it's I don't know what this is. I just know that it's being sold as Suminagashi ink. If anybody knows more than that, please let us know. So my answer is still, when you ask, can you use acrylic paint or acrylic inks? My answer is still, I don't know. But we'll test that after we do this. I do have some acrylic inks, and we will test it. But I didn't want to do it ahead of time. I wanted to experiment with you guys, all right? Just so we can have fun together. Okay, having said all that, ta-da! Let's hope the volume doesn't go off and the internet doesn't go off. Okay, you can use any kind of brush you want. You don't even have to use a brush necessarily. If you have like chopsticks or skewers or, toothpicks or any other kinds of brushes, whatever you have that, can grab a little bit of the ink and you can make little, dots in there, that will work. All right. Okay, everybody take a deep breath. We're going to see what's... Hi, Mids. Who else is here? Take a deep breath. Kiki, hello. Mitts, 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 mitts. Okay, take a deep breath, everybody, and let's see what happens. This right here is just a little bit of the Sumi ink. I didn't put a lot because it goes a long, long way. Again, this is just water with just a tiny, tiny little drop of Dawn. All right, let's hope we've got enough in there. And let the show begin. So, is this in frame? Yeah. So get a little bit of the ink on there and get some of the water in this one. And if you weren't here last week, there's a way of dipping your brushes into this bath here. And if you remember, I said, don't do this. Don't play a drum. You don't do it that way. You do it this way like you're milking a cow. Whoops, I just put some water in there. Okay, milk a cow, yes. Play a drum, no. Okay? That's about the only halfway rule to this. Okay, can you guys see? Sorry, this is going to be in the way, but that's the way I have to milk the cow. Woo, it's working. I can't believe it. And if your circle starts getting a little too small, get yourself some more ink. Get yourself some more water anytime you want. Whoa, see how that really dispersed? You see, I tilted it. I'm not supposed to tilt it. I'm telling you what to do, and I'm doing the opposite. When I tilted it, it went to the bottom. Did you notice that? That's why they suggest. Okay. Let's see what happens when we put the paper down. And maybe this paper is a little too big. And you'll see it starting to soak through. I don't remember how long they left it, but I do remember once he saw the pattern kind of, so you can start to see the little pattern a little bit, that kind of indicates that it's kind of soaked in there pretty well, I guess. Notice how confident I am. Oh my goodness. And there are the rings. Hey, it halfway worked. Ta-da! Okay. Let's see. Okay, now you're supposed to clean this off the top. And he cleaned the water like every other time or so, but we're just practicing. It isn't, because his papers he did, he put them into a book. So he wanted something nice, but we're just playing now. We're just playing to see if we can get the feel for it. Now see, this one isn't getting as feathery, so let's take a pull right away before it gets too feathery. Now I'm remembering now that he didn't do it every time, but he had a clean, a bucket of clean water, and sometimes he would dip them in, and sometimes he wouldn't. I don't know. I don't know the reason why he did with some and didn't with others. But I can see how that one is pulling, not pulling, pooling the one I just did. So maybe that's why. Ooh, see, those lines are coming out kind of cool. tamale. Look at this. Pretty. Whoa, whoa, no, stop. Look how cool. Okay, we're going to have fun tonight. Where am I going to put all this stuff? Uh-oh, didn't think about that. Okay, floor time. Hold on, I got to put this somewhere. No. Oh, that one came out pretty cool. So you see, you know, if you've seen demonstrations of the Indian and Turkish marbling, you see how totally different it is, right? You don't have to use all that thickening agent, and you don't have to make all the designs and all that kind of stuff. So I guess the clincher is going to be, does this stuff. Well, this isn't, let me start all over. I'm getting ahead of myself. Now we're going to see how that kit works. These colors that are in the kit. I don't know what they are, so these are not what we would consider the acrylic inks yet, because I don't know what these are. I think these are still just Sumi inks with some kind of color. But let's see how these work nonetheless. Get the water one again. You know what? I'm gonna, because that's a color, I'm gonna go dump this out and get some clean water. Alrighty. If I was doing black, I'd keep it, but let's get some clean water. Okay. And they say to put, you know, about half an inch of water or so. The instructions that came with the colored ones, it said an inch, but I'm going to go by what I observed. Uh-oh, which one was the one that had the soap? I don't know. I don't know. Probably this one. I hope so. Okay. Soap. And let's do some color. Milk the cow, milk the cow. Well, this you got to get a lot more ink. I can tell that already. See, if you put too much, it sinks to the bottom. So this is a little trickier. I can tell already than the other ink was. It's not as forgiving. Okay, let's just see what happens. Okay, let's see. I don't know. All right. Oh, it's starting. I'm gonna be patient. I can see the circles there. This ink takes a little bit longer to absorb. I noticed that. Oops. No oopsies. Oh, not bad. Oops. Not bad for not knowing what inks we're using. I'm gonna go put this over here. Okay, so let's try some more. Let's start off. Let's start off with some black so we can see the contrast with these colors. Now, I'm not coordinated, I don't think, enough because when he was like being Mr. Smart Sassy, this is what he would do. Let me try to be Miss Smart Snazzy. Hold on. Milk a twin. You got to be a lot more talented to be able to do that. Not my forte. Yeah, he would get real smart and go. Looked really cool because he knew what he was doing. Okay, let's let that soak up. Now this one, the first one that we tried, that one kind of got a little, whoops, a little gloppy there. But see, I imagine getting like my Asian stamps, you know, and stamping some stuff on there. I think it would look pretty cool. Oh, okay, let's go. And again, this is just copy paper, you know, depending on the types of paper, it's all going to be, you know, different. Kind of cool. I'm not cleaning it because, again, we're just testing out here. Okay, I think I better read, see what's going on over here. Sorry, everybody. I'm getting very enthralled. Okay, let me go back. All right. Hey, Patricia. Let me see. Any questions? Um, yeah. When it comes to these brushes, the one on my left hand is always going to be, you know, just so we can keep it straight, will always be the one that has the water with a little bit of soap. And then the one that's on my right hand will always be some kind of a color. And for those of you that just got here, what happens is that the little bit of soap, the detergent that's in the water, helps make like the molecules of whatever is the makeup of the ink disperse. And that's why you see that ring go out. Cool. I think I need to change the water. Let's do some more colors, then we'll change the water. Start off with some black because the contrast in the black, I think, helps. I think. And you don't want to dip this into the water. You are just letting the tip touch the top of the water, and not trying to. That's why I only put it on the tip, because you don't want to submerge this into the water. I know it's hard to tell, you know, from the angle that you're at, but if I put it in too far, that's sometimes when you see it fall, because too much ink has gotten in, and I guess it's too heavy, and then it goes to the bottom. Okay. Hi, Christine. Two Christines. Hi, Beth. We're just messing around, trying to see what kind of trouble we can get into. Trying to learn a new hello. Trying to learn a new technique and learning how to speak. Oh, okay. This one came out kind of cool. Yes, you can do more than one circle. Let's do that next. Let's do that next. Glad you asked. Glad you asked. Let's do that right now. Because when you start the next circle, basically all it does is going to push the colors to a side. Watch 1 second. Ta-da! And I will soak it up and we'll see what happens. Next, we'll try the blues and the greens with some yellow and see what happens. I'll get clean water for that. And I need to clean my brush. But you can see how far, you know, these inks go. I mean, or whatever they are. No, it is an ink. For sure it's an ink. Whoops. Pretty cool. I ran out of space. I have so much junk up here. I'm making a whole bunch of journals, so my tabletop's all full of stuff. Okay, so let me clean this brush, dump this water, and I'll be right back. Okay, that's my clean brush. If you're just getting here, this is plain water. We're going to put about 1/2 inch. Okay, so let's try some of the greens and blues. It's hard for you to see because I can barely see it. Whoa, you can see the blue, that's for sure. The green was hard. Oh, here we go. I just had too much water on the brush. There we go. Okay, let's grab some yellow. Let's go crazy. See, it's going to the bottom. I put the brush in too far. Whoops. So it created some weight. some reason, the green one doesn't like me. And those of you that are what I call real artists, unlike me, you know that the different colors, they have different composition of different kinds of stuff, for lack of a better word. And the weight is different for different colors. So that might have something to do with it too. Let that soak up. Hey, Pearl, did I say hello to you? Who else have I missed? I'm sure a whole slew of people. I apologize. I got me a, hi, Keisha. I got me a, yes, ask away. I got me a new monitor so I could see what was going on. And for some reason today, earlier, I couldn't get any volume. So I'm back to my little screen trying to see what people are saying. Can you use your poking tool and pull out the circles? Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Ta-da! That's kind of cool too. Now, I'll try this probably tomorrow or something. But now, see, these colors are inks. They're all permanent colors. So in these blank spaces, you could come back with like your watercolors or something and fill them in if you want to do something. There's a lot of different things you can do with these. This isn't like the end of it all. I look at it like the beginning, the background to a collage or something by adding maybe some other paints or stamps or something. Let's try doing that. Let's make some little swiggles if we can. What color's on there? Okay, let's start. They suggest that if you're going to put the black, to start off with the black, because the black, when you start adding the other colors, the black gets pushed out and it becomes more diluted. And the colors that are in the centers are going to be brighter because obviously they haven't, moved all over the surface of the water. So once you get the basic technique, then you can start adapting, a little more creativity. Because if, say, you've got a red, but you want it to be really light, you would put the red down first, because by the time you finish, the red's on the outskirts, and now it's become thinner. So it's not going to be a bright, bright red. It might even almost be like a pink. So, and then, but you wanted, let's say you wanted the green to be really intense. Well, you do the green almost last because it would only dissipate a little bit on your water. So, there's ways to manipulate it. I know it in theory. I don't think I can really do it, but in theory, I get what you need to do. I'm just not sure if I could do it. Okay, so now we get the pokey tool. And what he would do, which looks so pretty, he had a really beautiful hand fan, and he would go like that with his fan, and it would, the different colors would just start swirling. It looks so cool because, the surface of the water, any little thing makes it move. So that was a cool effect. Okay, I'll let that soak up a little bit. Sandra, I don't think it's so much. Well, let's try it. I don't think they will blend, to tell you the truth. But let's see if we can. I think if you want them to blend, you have to blend them on the outside of the water. I think once they hit the water, I'm not sure. I'm just talking off the top of my head. So let's do something like that and see what happens. That's how we learn. We test our theory, right? That's why I wanted to do this the first time with you guys, because we all have the same questions. I didn't want to do it ahead of time. Ooh, pretty, pretty. Where all this stuff go. Okay, so the question, Sika, because I had asked if you could tie. Oh, several brushes together and dip it at the same time and see what happens. All right, so let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. Let's get, so we can see the contrast. We'll do black. That was where the black one went. Yeah, we get some black. And we'll get the red one. And black, red. And we'll get this concoction of green. And ooh, that really sucked that up. That's a big brush. Okay, we got a lot of that color. Did you see that suck that up? Okay. Let's kind of get them so that the tip is at the same spot so nothing gets dunked. Let me make sure. Okay. Here we go, people. Uh-oh. I don't know what happened, but something did. I think we're going to get a rainbow. See, they're not mixing. Well, that answered that other question. They're not mixing. They're just dispersing separately, but looking pretty cool. That's all I can say. Okay, that is what color? Oh, that one goes there. This one goes here. That one goes over there. Just so I don't completely confuse myself. And we'll do a little swirly swirl. The swirly swirl. Uh-oh, what kind of paper is this? Oh, this is different paper. I think this is cardstock. Let's see what happens. It's a little thicker. You may not see it coming through to the other side. So let's leave it a few seconds so it absorbs it. Might have to do it again with the copy paper if it doesn't look right. Just so we get a true comparison with the other ones. Ah! Okay, it came out kind of blurry like, but I think it's the paper. So let's try this one again, but look how cool that right there is. I don't know why that's so different. Yeah, this paper doesn't take it off, but it still looks kind of cool. That's cool there. I don't know why it did that there. Yeah, let's get the same paper because when you do a test, it's got to be the same or it doesn't mean anything. All right, let me get the paper. I'm going to do it on my cutter over here. And how short do I make that? Don't drop the water, Rosemary. I'll just do a nice pile so we have plenty. Is this too wide? It almost looks too wide. Ah, it's a hair too wide. Wouldn't you know it? That's what you get for eyeballing. Do not eyeball. I'm eyeballing again. I know. All right, so what are we doing now? Oh, the same thing. Same thing, right? What did we do last? I already forgot. What did we do last? Help me out. I already forgot. What am I supposed to repeat? What was that? Help me out, people. Let me go see. What was that? What was that? Was that with the three? Was that with the three brushes? I already forgot. Okay. Boy. Talk about lame brain. Okay, 3 brushes. Here we go. So that's got plenty still of the yellow that just sitting there. There was a lot in there. Let's just try a different color. And that's the black, but let's do the blue. That'll just make it a dark blue. So let's level up the bottom of the bristles. Okay. Get the soap ready. You can kind of see that the colors are not blending. That answers that question. Oh my goodness, they're still too big. Ooh, look at that one coming through. Very cool. Look. So it doesn't, they don't blend together. They stay separate. So if you wanted to mix the colors, then, you know, you do that out of the water if you want to create colors. But it's really pretty cool. And there was already some paint in there. And you can see some of the leftover pink and yellow that created some cool effects there on the edges that got pushed out to the sides from what was left. Pretty cool. All right. So, okay, this goes over here so I don't confuse myself. That's a dark one. This is the yellow. That's the black red. What's this? The darks. Those are darks. Those are darks. And this is, oh, that's the water. Confusing myself already. All right. So, what else do we need to know? What else do we need to know? I think I need a drink of my juice. Good night, Pearl. Okay, so, oh, acrylics. There you go. Okay, so this one's almost done. I'll put a little bit of acrylic in there. I'll put a little bit of acrylic in there. Let me go brush. Let me go wash. That's still black. Let me go get these Sumi inks out. I might as well clear the tray. All right, inks. Let's get something that's a little dark. I got a red one. Let's see. I have the red. Let's get a high contrast. Like a green of some kind, I guess. To contrast with it. No, I don't want that. Let me see now. I got plenty of colors. I don't want to use like a iridescent or anything because I don't know how that'll move. What's this? Ooh, this might look pretty. This and these two colors. I like these two colors. What does that remind you of? Yes, indeed. Mix these all up pretty good. I notice these inks, if you let them sit for more than, like a couple of weeks, they get all, they settle to the bottom a lot. These particular inks, they're pretty fluid. We'll try and straight, and if it doesn't work, then we'll add a little bit of water, like you suggest. But these are pretty. Well, you'll see. They're pretty watery. These are not thick at all. Look, they're real watery. So let's see. Okay, so the first test will be straight, and then we'll do a second test watered down and see which way we prefer. Well, we got to see if it works at all. All right. This green one already looks a little weird compared to the other inks that are already sitting there. I don't know what that means. Just an observation. Okay, here's the test. Now you can't see them, but I couldn't see that yellow one before either very well. Okay, well you can see this one. It's making the movement like the other ones did. It doesn't move as far as the other ones, but that isn't necessarily a bad thing. All that means is the color will be more concentrated. Remember we talked about if it goes way off in the tules, So there's nothing wrong with that. And see, it has done something to the water because now even the regular ink isn't moving like it did before. But like I said, that does not mean it's a bad thing. So let's see. Different can mean good. Johnny, I don't see why not, but I have a piece. We can test it on it. Okay, so this is using, whoa, this is using acrylic inks. Now, that green isn't even showing up at all. It's coming out yellow, actually. And the blue, okay, so the colors aren't that intense. Now, I've read, you know, that a lot of these inks, the pigments, they aren't really all that richly pigmented. So that would stand to reason why the color isn't as vivid as the other ones are. And then it would stand to reason that the colored Sumi inks are very concentrated because they're used in tattoos. So I would think that if, you know, if it's an art form that you'd like to practice on and work with and, you know, be good at it, it would be worth getting the colored Sumi inks. Or just getting this, whoops, this marbling, the other ones I had, the this. Because you see how far all this ink is gone. And look how much ink is in each one of these. There is a lot of ink if you're just going to use it for this. And I think this whole kit was like $11. So it's well worth all these inks, just 11 bucks. So that answers that about the acrylic inks. Yes, you can use them, but the colors are not going to be as intense. Okay. Oops. And some of these are drying, and the color is still pretty vivid even after it's drying. The color hasn't lessened on the other ones at all. Okay, copy paper. Where do I have copy paper? Hold on. I think this is copy. I don't think this is my Eco deck paper. No. We'll find out. All right. Let's cut a piece. Let's cut it the right size. Let's cut it the right size. All right. So, okay, I don't want to mess. Let me go clear. Let me go clean these two brushes. This has acrylic ink on them. I don't want the ink to mess with the other ink. Hold on one second. All right. So now let's mix that up a little bit there. Make sure we have some soap on there. All right. All right, let me catch up on here and see what's going on. Hey, Aaron. We have two Aarons in the house. Um, yeah. The one you're talking about with the starch, that's a different form of marbling. That's like the Turkish kind, right? Right. This was is the Suminagashi, which is the Japanese. That doesn't. They use just plain water and sumi ink, and so we're just playing around with different kinds of inks and see if it works. And so far, I mean, it will print, but obviously, it's not as intense as the colors you would think, because it just kind of dissipates. So, alrighty, so we're gonna try one on some copy paper and see what happens. So we'll use, let's put a little bit of this green. And a little bit of this blue. I like that combo. It looked pretty. And when you use the various colors, you might have a little bit, make a little adjustment of how much you put on the brush because some colors move better than others, even with these inks that are designated for this marbling. But you'll get the feel for it right away once you start. You'll notice the difference. Okay, and let's do the swirly swirl. And let's see what happens. Oops, where'd my soap go? Uh-oh. I just put paint on my soap. Uh-oh. Ooh, well, it's soaking in. So one suggestion I would make is whatever brush you designate for your water and soap, put a little piece of tape or something, 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 so you don't accidentally put it in ink like I did. That way you've always got your one clean brush for your soap and water. I see that would be helpful right away. Okay, there's on your copy paper. It looks pretty cool. Did you guys lose me? Oh, it must be Kathy. Kathy, clean out the ears. All right, so this one, just so we keep it clear, this pull was done with these inks which is the Suminagashi. You get this at Amazon. I don't quote me, but I think it's like under $11, 10 something. And Dick Blick has it, so they have sales every once in a while. So check and see who has it the cheapest. And you get all these inks, and then you can mix these inks together to create your own colors. And like I said, you see how many we've pulled, and I haven't even finished the 3 little drops of each color that I put there in that palette. So it goes a long way. And if you want to work with the black, even though, excuse me, even though this one does come with a black ink, if you're not wanting colors and you just want to work with the black, the Sumi ink comes in this. And it's really great for all kinds of stuff, not just for this. Anyway, let me go put this one down. Okay, let me check up on the chat. The name, let's see. The name on this one is Bokuundo. Undo, I don't know. And it's Suminagashi marbling. And that's the one with the colors. And then just for the black ink, it's Sumi ink. Sumi ink. Ink. You know what I mean. And there's different brands. I got the cheapest one for the most amount, which was the Yasunomo. Yeah, there you go. That's the brand I got, and I would not suggest using the acrylic inks unless you want a real pale look, because it does not come out very much at all. It does not come with these brushes. I had these brushes separate. You can use any kind of brush that you have, but if you choose to buy brushes, I think this was a set of, I can't remember if it was 6 or something, and I think it came, if you divided it up, it came to like $2 a brush, but I think there was 6 in a set, if I'm not mistaken. I don't remember if I had these. They're not expensive, and I think you can get them, just, singular, I think also. Let's see. I did change the water several times. When I was just working with the black, I think I did 3 pulls with the black, and then I cleaned it. Then when I did maybe 2 pulls from when I had different colors, and then when I changed, the kind of like the palette from the reds to the greens, I changed it then also. And then when I used the acrylics, I washed it again. So, and of course, I washed my brushes when I changed colors and when I went from the ink to the acrylic ink. What are the brushes called? I think these are Japanese calligraphy brushes. And they come in different sizes. The ones that I got came in several, in the package. Like it was like, maybe it was a set of 4, because I've got number 1, 2, 3, and 4 as far as the sizes are concerned. So maybe it was a pack of 4 that it came in. All I remember is it came out to be like about $2 a brush if you divided the price with the quantity. It probably is. See, Erin's been to like real art school. Miss Kennedy there, or I should say Miss Doc. She is a wealth of information that has to do with almost everything from fine art from the Middle East to her chickens in the backyard. She's the go-to person if you have a question. And if she doesn't know the answer, she probably knows somebody who does. So just in case, let me put this in here and put this in view in case you're still trying to determine the name and the company and all that good stuff. Get that out of the way. Well, that was fun. I think we learned, I mean, I'm sure you got enough taste of it that you know if it's something you want to pursue or you just enjoy watching, but you don't think you really want to do it yourself. There's a lot of things like that. I see things and go, wow, that's interesting. And it was fun watching, but, I really would, there's that mosquito I killed. I really wouldn't care if I did it or not. And then there's other things. I can't wait to run out there and get the stuff and try it. See, she just made her chicken carts. I told you. That is so funny. Oh my goodness. That's crazy. Okay, so ladies, so what should we plan for next time we get together? What do you guys want to learn about? I don't care if I don't know anything about it. I'll figure it out and we'll learn together. Just like we figured this out together. Oh, thank you. You're welcome, Mitz. Hey, Johnny, nothing amazing about it. We just learned together. That's how we learn. Hopefully, we all just share with each other. Well, that one, I don't know. I don't remember what happened to that one. I think that was when I didn't clean it. Although that almost looks like a rooster right there. That's all I can say in the center. I might have to send that to you. Oh, you're quite welcome. What else could you use the ink? I don't know. I guess the way you would use, I'm guessing, just the way you would use any other kind of ink, in your artwork. Let's see what this looks like. Because this is the, yeah, this is the, that's the marbling ink. Yeah, just like you would any other. There you go. There's your Asian calligraphy. Ta-da! What does that say? I don't know. Zorro. I know. Oh, I bet you, you know what? I bet you this would look pretty cool. The inks anyway would work really good on a jelly plate too, because it's very fluid. So I think it would like be pretty cool on there. Well, thank you, ladies. Thank you so much. We just got to plan what we're going to do next time. I can't think of everything. I'm wondering what else could we do? Let me think. I'm trying to think of fun stuff. We did the metal last week. I haven't done anything with it yet. You ladies that weren't here, let me show you what we did last week. Maybe you can go back and watch some of the repeat. I know they're long and long-winded, but uh-oh, where'd it go? I'm telling you, I got so much stuff here. That's what happens when I start to clean up. Uh-oh. Seriously, what did I do with it? Oh, well, that'll have to wait for another day. I thought I had it right here. But obviously not. My husband came in and set up some stuff for me, which ultimately did not work. But he was well intended, and I moved stuff out of the way. And now I don't know where that went. Oh, well. It was a fun project. For you people that weren't here, you have to trust me. It was fun. I'm going to make a journal cover out of it when I find it. Let's see. On collage making. I have in a sense, we were doing, I'll show you really quick. For quite a while there, we were working on a journal that I did. I called it Get a Spine Journal. Let me move this out of the way. Those all together. Oops, that's dirtier there than that side. I'll show you real quick. And my camera doesn't always like all this craziness going on in here. But I did a Get a Spine journal. I made these from scratch in the sense that I tore 2 books apart and then put them together again. And together, it's sort of what I call a glue book, but I guess it could be a collage book, you know, kind of sort of whatever you want to call it. And this one was my black and white one. And we went kind of and did all these pages together. I'm going to be starting a new one real soon, real soon. I'm not sure if you are thinking about more of a mixed media where there's a lot of paints and things involved or not. But on this particular one, about the only colors in here is the gesso that I put down, a little bit of white paint, a touch of red, you know. So it's probably, this is, you know, I consider this more of a glue book, but I mean, there's composition to it. I just don't glue stuff into it just for the sake of gluing. Whether it looks like it or not, I do put some thought into it. I have a lot of fun doing these. I enjoy these a lot. They're so relaxing to me. And I've found out with really any type of this kind of mixed media stuff, I enjoy themes of one sort of another, whether it's a theme that has to do with a subject or a color theme, or a time period theme. I love themes. I don't really like so much just the randomness and putting stuff down. I learned that about myself. So I don't fight it anymore. So everything I do has some kind of a theme to it. And it makes me feel comfortable. I have like a direction. I know what I'm doing and where I'm going and how to get there. And when I go through my stuff and I see something, or when when I'm putting things away, I go, oh, that goes with that theme. So my way of organizing is pretty much my theme. And I kind of did that before I realized I was doing it. And then I thought, oh, I have all that stuff there and that stuff there. And then like when people come to my studio and they would say, do you happen to have blah, blah, blah? I just get up, even though I have a bunch of stuff everywhere, I can get up and go, yep, I do have that. I know exactly where it is because I know what theme I would have probably put something like that. And sure enough, there it is. Uh-oh, you got a spooky spine binding now? Do you have to keep a large staff? You don't have to have. I'll show you two different ways that I start. Of course, I've gotten crazy now. Like we all get a little crazy once we start doing this stuff. But let me show you how I started, and it might help you on the way you collect your stuff. Now, if you weren't a crazy person like me, this is all you would need. This little space, or this kind of little bigger space. And all this is I altered a book, and I put some little gussets. Let me see if you can see. I put little gussets here on the edges to create like a folder effect, right? And I did that on this book. And then what I did, there's several obviously, and then what I did is I got the little things that come on your bread, and I painted them the colors that I really gravitate toward. And this just started whenever I'd come across something, I'd stick it in there. So this has like my beiges and tans, and there's my blacks and my yellows, my purples, oranges, like a teal color, red, green, and what's this? I lost my little thingamajigger. Oh, a dark blue. So because I like themes, when I go and do my my glue books or the collages, I go, okay, well, here's all my black and white stuff that I've it spoke to me, and I threw it in there. And so I'm all set to go. So when I sit down, I can just grab this, and if I'm working on a certain color theme, my stuff is there. And you can have that on a smaller scale or a larger scale, and all your stuff is right there. You can just keep that on the shelf that way or this way, and you're all set to go. And then the other one that I have that you could use is, I don't remember the name of this, let me move this out of the way. On small little books, there's a name for this fold. I don't remember what it's called, but they usually make little small ones about this big. And so I was looking at it one day, and I thought, wow, if you made that big, that'd be a good place to store your little stuffs, you know, for all your collaging and stuff. And so that's what this is. You might recognize the shape. Just visualize it smaller. And whoops. And again, of course, as you can see, I did use my color, of course. And here's my red ones. And what happens is when you sit it down on the table, you know, you can just take out your stuff and sit it down there with your appropriate colors, and you have all your stuff to work with. And then when you're done with that page or that color or whatever it is you're doing, you can just stick them right back in. And again, I've got my favorite colors set up. I've got the different kinds of blues, and here's the green one, and more like a teal kind of color, yellows, and the pinks. And there's a lot of stuff in there, all kinds of colors and a lot of stuff. But again, look, it's really small, compact, and you can just stick it, you know, on a shelf, even in a drawer or whatever. So, and this is one of my, this is a jelly plate transfer, image transfer. And I thought that was kind of cool. So I put her in the front. It looked kind of, ooh, kind of mysterious. And there's another one. And these are made out of manila folders. And if you go on my channel somewhere there, I have a video of how to make this. Oh, and then in between, because you glue these together, I put another gusset like in here, so you can stuff in there. So and there's places all over the place to stuff things in. And if you're just doing it for your little personal use, there's more than enough room in either one of these file systems. Yeah, it does. It fits a lot of stuff. And this is really pretty easy. I mean, it really, I know people say, oh, that's easy to make. But no, trust me, this really is easy. Because all you have to do is you get a piece of paper. Let me see if I remember how I did that. Yeah. You just get a piece of paper. I'll show you really quick because it is that simple. You get a piece of paper. The length of your pages happens is almost perfect. So you would get a piece like this and fold it this way in half, and then fold it again this way. Oops. And that way. And there is your, and all you have to decide, and you know, you have when you, let me see, to make it so you can really see it. Let's say here's the edge of the pages, and then all you have to do is glue it down here, and glue it down there, and now pretend that's open on that end, and you have your gusset, and you put another one over here on this end. And all you have to remember is whether you put it this way or this way, it really doesn't matter if it opens that way or that way, but just make sure you put them in the same direction all the way across this way and that way, so that you have a uniform opening instead of it being kind of wonky. And that's all. And I think this is almost the exact same size. Look at that. It's almost the same size. So let me give you some dimensions. Everybody always says dimensions, please. So the width of this is 5 inches. So I would cut a piece 5 inches this way, and whatever the length or width of your pages are, and it would be perfect. And you'd be all set to go. And just find yourself a nice book. Now, I would suggest, this was the first one I made, and I picked one with a really small spine. I would suggest something with a bigger spine, because you can see It already has busted the spine. I got to get some tape on there. But I would really suggest, because I didn't realize how big it was going to end up getting, I would pick a bigger spine. And it'll work. Yeah, this one's really fun when you open it up because it's kind of crazy. And then it just sits up there so cute. I use them both, actually. I use them both. But now because, I make kits and, because I have my Etsy shop and stuff, of course, this is my personal one, but I have some small little drawers where when I find interesting things, I throw them in there because I actually sell quite a few glue books, naked glue books. And when I do, I always put in a stash I put a stash of my stash in there because a lot of people, they don't have the resources, or they don't realize, the kind of magazines they can take stuff from. And then lots of times you have to have something in your hands and you go, oh yeah, I've seen stuff like that. And oh yeah, I can get that at the library for free. And, and then your mind starts rolling. You go, oh, I got a book that has stuff like that. And then you realize you do have access to most of this stuff. But sometimes you need it right in your hands for the inspiration. So I pull a lot of stuff from a lot of magazines and books, and then I incorporate those into the packages that I send with my glue books. So that means I have a lot of junk. And right now I'm putting together a whole bunch of glue books based on colors. And so I'm going to be putting together little packages, just small packages of stuff to go with those, because those are all based on colors. And those are my favorite ones, like I just told you. But the other ones I have been selling, those have always been just plain. I've only got 2 of these done. I'll show you real quick. I've got like about, I don't know, I didn't count them, 6 or 7 different colors I'm doing. And these are my orange ones, obviously. Obviously, these are orange. And so what I did is I went through all of my stash of papers, and I grabbed anything and everything that remotely looked orange. And that's what these are. I think there's like 80 pages or something like that in here. And so, but I'll be putting together different colored ones. And then what I did in the front is I jelly printed some file folder, and then printed with some gesso some leaves from my yards, and just printed those on the front. And that's how the cover of all of them are going to be. They're going to be the color, and then gesso printed leaves on the cover. Hey, Tammy. And the way that these get done, I have my personal ones. I've had these for a couple of years. Here's my orange one that I did, and this is what I do with my glue books or collages or whatever you want to call it. This is my orange one, and I just collect. Whoops, that's not even finished. I just collect orange stuff like you saw in that file system. And then when I'm in the mood, I just sit down and bring out my file system, pick the color of the little glue book that I'm working on, and go for it. It really can be a lot less complicated than we sometimes make it. I gotta fill these in. I thought my orange one was done. Ooh, I have still space. Oh, good, because I do have some stuff I could put in here. I don't know why I thought my orange one was done. And there you go. And so that's what you'll be able to do with these. That's how these started, with a bunch of papers and stuff. And then I just started gluing in there. So these are fun. I'll have fun putting my little stash together to send off with those books too. Well, if you guys don't have any other questions, Tammy, we're just done. We had so much fun. Where were you? We had fun for almost 2 hours. Yeah, I've heard that in I guess most of Europe doesn't have the type of file folders that we have. They have a different filing system, I guess. Oh, you're so welcome. I'm just glad you guys kept me company. Aw, Tammy. Well, you're a hard worker. That's why you fell asleep. We'll do something next weekend. I'm not sure what, to tell you the truth. I'll come up with an idea, or if you guys want to post something in the comments after this video loads up and say, hey, why don't we do this? Why don't we do that? And if I have the stuff, if I don't have to go buy anything, we'll try it. I think that sounds like a plan. Okay, well, I'm going to have to figure out why I'm going to play tomorrow. If you see me come in and out of lives tomorrow, it's because I'm going to be testing my equipment and figure out why you guys could not hear me when I had my new monitor on. I had to take my monitor off and go back to my laptop. So if you see me going in and out, I'm not going crazy. I'm just trying to figure out my equipment. All right, ladies. Thanks so much again. And I will say what? Lisa, I'm glad you said that, because I was thinking about the same thing as far as the inks. I think that'd be kind of fun. And that way, if you guys do end up wanting to buy the Suminagashi colored inks and they just don't, you know, you get kind of bored with it or something, you might have a second thing to do with the inks. So I will do that. All right. Thanks again. See you guys soon. Good night. Betty, I didn't know you were there. Good night, Betty.